A year ago, I started on an unexpected journey when I bought the Zcam F6. Since there's not much online about this camera and very little people, at least here in Germany, trust in the Chinese brand Zcam. Now, the F6 has become our most used camera to this date and is extremely versatile, but it also has some flaws, but nonetheless I love this camera, and in the following minutes you will know why. I won't talk about too much technical specs and features of the F6 since I've already done an in-depth full review. In this video I will talk about my experiences with the camera in the past year and how it really performs in a professional shooting environment with multiple cameras. So let's start with the things I love about the F6, which is absolutely its body design, and due to the compactness you can mount this camera anywhere and you even can control it via an app, which is absolutely awesome. Also, the F6 shoots in various different frame rates up to 6K resolution and can record everything in ProRes, which is nice for a professional workflow. The body is built like a tank and I can honestly say that the camera never let me down once in any given shooting scenario. The F6 boots up in under 10 seconds and doesn't need to be black shaded or doesn't need to get to normal operating temperature. It's ready to shoot right away and the power consumption is extremely low. You can power the cam an entire day off a single NPF battery, which is crazy. Of course, the image quality is also really good and it has a nice crisp 6K image paired with a really good dynamic range and low light capabilities. What I've seen in comparison to other cameras is that the F6 has a warm look to the footage straight out of cam, and that's why I set the white balance always a little bit cooler, and since I always use it in conjunction with my Komodo and also sometimes with the R6, that's what I'm talking about here. But due to the F6 compact size, the low power consumption, the various frame rate options, the good low light performance and the ease of use, the F6 is an extremely versatile camera and is therefore our most used camera here in our production company. But as every camera, also the Zcam is not perfect and I have two main issues with the Zcam F6. The biggest issue is that there's no timecode input on the F6. Yes, you can buy an adapter from Zcam, but even then the internal clock doesn't run reliable, and for a cinema camera I would wish for a professional timecode workflow. To solve it, you can jam the tentacle into the audio jack, but also that's not ideal because sometimes you wanna maybe use the audio jack. The second issue is about the internal audio. It's not usable, doesn't matter if XLR or the normal audio jack, it doesn't sound really well. Okay, since we use mostly the Mix Pre 6 for our audio recording anyway, and all of you would maybe agree that a dedicated sound recorder is always better, it still would have been nice to have somewhat usable audio in the Zcam. So the F6 costs around $4,000 but competes against cameras such as the Komodo and Canon C70. All in all, I think the money is well invested here since the F6 is an absolute workhorse and the image quality and usability always fascinates me. Zcam still has a hard credibility in the industry, but the cameras are really rock solid and are used more and more in Hollywood productions, which shows that Zcam definitely has earned its place in the cinema camera world. So all in all together, I really like the Zcam. The image is great, the dynamic range is great, the low light is great, the body itself is great, and therefore I really love the camera. Since always there are some flaws with every camera, right? But I think I still will get away with that, I can live with that, and therefore I can highly recommend to anybody the Zcam. If you have any further questions to the Zcam or something else, just drop them down in the comments below. Please don't forget to subscribe to make possible other videos like that, and I'm gonna see you in my very next video. Cheers!